All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Anila, and I'm really excited to be hosting this webinar. I don't think this has ever happened before, but welcome to Husbands Cooking Iftari during Ramadan. Now, you've heard about women cooking in the kitchen. Muslim women are always in the kitchen, serving their husbands. Well, we're defying all of those stereotypes. And today we are making our husbands make iftari. And just a side note, Muslim men really know how to cook. And that's why today you're going to see some fabulous cooking items that we love. We enjoy them throughout Ramadan. And perhaps you learn how to make these fantastic dishes. So we've got three people who are going to be showing you how to cook some Ramadan recipes. One of them is my husband out there, Kareem. He's going to be showing you how to make patties, and they're world famous. My family loves him because of the patties that he makes. And then I also have Yusuf there. Yusuf's going to be making chana chaat chola. Hello, Yusuf. Another fabulous husband. And then we have a young man, a Muslim man who is yet to be married. So girls, keep a look. Rahim is here. He's going to be making chicken karahi, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are going to learn some fabulous dishes. And I always say, yes, I'm a woman, but please, I do not cook and I don't like cooking. So I'm so happy that today you're going to see.
Yeah, she is actually telling the truth. I got invited to my mother-in-law's place in 1987, and they had a soup which was purple in color, and I thought it was an aubergine soup, and I asked who made it, and it was Anila, and she hasn't cooked since then.
All right, that's a side note. So we're going to first start out with Kareem and his then we're going to be moving to Yusuf, or we may just ask Rahim to take on the second one, and then we'll come to Yusuf last. And then at the same time, if you have any questions, can you send them on Facebook, share them, and I'll be looking at them. But for the moment, I'm going to join these guys and do Facebook Live from there in the kitchen. And I'll keep looking at my phone to see if you're sending me any questions. I'll be sure to ask them. So give me a moment. In the meantime, Rahim and Kareem and Yusuf, can you introduce yourselves and tell our viewers what you guys do and how come you guys are such fabulous husbands and to-be husbands?
Absolutely. So I'll start age before beauty. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm social distance myself. I'm Anila's husband. I run an internet company, a part of a team there. And my reason for cooking is to be able to feed myself. After being in 31 years and 5 months and 6 days and 4 hours of marriage, I learned that my wife neither does like to cook, nor eat, nor buy food which is cooked in a restaurant. So that was a pretty heavy thing to absorb, and then I had to learn to cook. And with that, I'm going to introduce you to my brother from another mother. And that's actually literally true, because they're all sons of Abraham, and we come from not from the chain of Abraham and Sarah, but from the chain of Abraham and Hajar. Yes, Mr. Yusuf Khan. Also,
well said, Kareem.
Hold on.
Kareem, social distancing.
I'm not done, dude.
Social distancing. Hold up.
All right, mask, please.
Hey guys, by the way, we both are quarantining ourselves,
Exactly.
so that's why we're very close.
Yeah. Very funny.
Sorry.
Yusuf. Now, for a fact check, Isa, Jesus, Prophet Jesus, his brother was named Yusuf. He was called Yusuf, but his name was Yusuf for a fact. Yusuf, go on, buddy.
Yes. And there was something in the Quran, I think, Hazrat Yusuf was really handsome and whatnot, but unfortunately I didn't take that. But what I did do is that I consider myself a good husband. Yusuf, I live in Irvine. I have a beautiful wife, Sana, and 2 beautiful kids. I'm not as...
It's getting boring now.
I know, thank you.
Okay.
So I actually work with Kareem, unfortunately, so I have to deal with this every day. Every day I hear Kareem, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, I will have to say that Kareem is an amazing chef, and I'm usually not in the kitchen as much. However, when it comes to my specialty is frozen pizzas. So what I did was I actually did learn how to make, a special dish, and I'm gonna keep the suspense going. But I'm excited about this, and it's something that my sister-in-law would love because she's vegan. Rahim, shout out to you.
We have to start looking.
We'll go from there. All right.
Okay, after Rahim. Rahim, introduce yourself.
Keep giving you shout-outs.
Yes,
Rahim,
absolutely,
introduce yourself.
absolutely.
How do we get to Rahim, Manila?
I think Rahim can
Unmute himself.
Okay, my name is Rahim. I'm 25 years old. I'm a Chapman University graduate. Currently, I'm working 2 jobs. One as Anila Auntie's assistant, and the other is as a creative director for a marketing company. I learned how to cook because my mom, she can cook well, but I'm really picky with food, extraordinarily picky. So, I mean, I thought, okay, might as well just start learning myself instead of, complaining to my mom, and then just one thing left to another. And next thing you know, like I'm hosting dinner parties every month, for all of my friends, or, sending out food for iftar for a lot of people. So I'm going to show you guys the fried chicken recipe. Well, at least it's my version. I'm a lazy person. The easiest way to cook is my favorite way to cook because I don't like spending too much time on things. So you might find some of the ingredients that I use a little bit odd. I mean, I promise if you try it, you'll really enjoy it.
All right, back to Mr. Ali and Mr. Yusuf.
He is single, ready to mingle as well.
Yeah, both married. Okay.
After Ramadan, though. After Ramadan.
Okay. Anita, back to us.
Yes. So, do you want me to just hold it then?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
We're not on the main screen right now.
Oh, then I'll have to.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Anila's having some technical difficulty. She's fixing it. While Yusuf and I just mess around.
Yes,
We can dance.
we could, but I'll get exhausted.
We can do a
if I'm
TikTok
fasting.
video.
Yeah, we could.
We could do a TikTok.
Yeah. Ready?
We don't have the music.
Yeah, just.
Kareem and Yusuf, you're on. Let's start.
We're on. You can see us. Okay. So, Anila, come here. We need your help to hold the iPad so we can walk around the room.
I can do it.
Okay, Yusuf will walk around.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to turn the screen if we can. Okay, Yusuf, how do you turn the screen, Anila? As you see, I'm very techie here. All right. What we're going to do today is we're going to make patties or turnovers. We're going to use beef today, but you can make this with chicken. You can make this with potatoes. You can make this with okra. And when I was preparing my main dishes earlier, I've actually made step-by-step directions, which I'm going to have Anila post. So you guys can sort of know how to make this. Really easy. You start off with the beef. I've used beef today. But like I said, ground beef, you can use ground chicken. And so the beef is ready. It's been ready for about half an hour. The dough that I use, now you can make it at home. It takes about an hour to make it, and then you can sort of freeze it and use it when you want to. You can cut it in squares. You can cut it in triangular. You can do rectangular. You can do many shapes here. They look really good. So we have laid it down on an aluminum sheet. And what I'm going to do, Yusuf's going to hold the thing now. And what we're going to do first is we're going to use an egg on it. And what the egg does, the egg makes the dough rise. Now, those of you who are vegan and who don't want to use
vegan.
Vegan. Okay, Yusuf,
Not
shut
a
up.
vegan, but
All
vegan.
right. Yusuf gets -10 right now for having to eat this recipe. Those of you who are vegan, all right, sorry, you can use milk or condensed milk. It'll give the same rising power to the flour as the egg does, but sort of the egg also browns it, so it's a browner and a riser at the same time. So here we go. I have the egg ready. I'm going to sort of, as you can see, Yusuf, whip the egg. And once I've whipped the egg, I'm going to make about the same amount of water. So I've done that now. And I'm going to put that back. We're going to whip it again. And there it goes. It's whipped. Now, in the meantime, as I'm doing that, I'm going to turn my oven on. The oven has to be, we're going to bake it. We're going to rise for the flour and the dough to rise properly. You need to be at 385. This thing will cook, and the oven has to be preheated precisely, otherwise it will not rise. And it takes about between 20 and 35 minutes, which is very tricky. Depends on the mixture of the dough, the way the heat is coming in. So you're going to have the light on, and you're going to keep watching it past 15 minutes. Otherwise, you're going to burn it. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to take the brush. You can use a spoon. You can use your fingers as well, which I do normally. And you can go and sort of brush these. This is what gives it the power to rise. And we're going to do a few of these here. And let's say we do about 6 here to start off with, or we'll do the 8 quickly. And we got to do both the sides, because keep in mind, both the sides are going to rise. So we're going to do this. And as this is happening, now what I have to do is turn them around. Now, before I put them on the aluminum foil, I use pan. You can use cooking oil, you can use pan. What it does is, it won't make it stick. So when your turnovers are done, you can easily take them out. And keep in mind, sometimes the lower portion actually gets a bit burned. It's all right. Take one of the flat knife and just tear it off, because this dough has about 6 layers. So if you take one layer out, you're still doing pretty good. Now I'm turning them around. As you can see that, I'm going to do that pretty fast. Here it goes. My oven is heating up, so it's going to be ready in about 15 to 20 minutes. There it goes. There it goes. It's turning around, turning around. You can talk to it like it's a living creature. You're going to eat it just like your plant. It's lovely. You're going to take this back again. Yusuf, you're doing all right?
Yes, I'm doing great.
So back there
I'm
it
actually
goes
just
again.
getting hungry.
I know. Back this goes again. And you want to be sure the corners get it, because if the corners don't get it, it's not going to stick. And it's very easy to make, or you can buy this pre-made from any Indian, Arabic, Greek store. So you decide. You want to spend $3 in pre-made ones. They come in rolls. You can cut them in any shape. Or it will take an hour to make about roughly around 50. So that is a much cheaper and a much more economical way to do it. So, okay, now that the eggs are in, we're going to go get, you follow me. We're going to go and get the filling. Now the filling can be potato, which are delicious. I'll have the recipe for that. The same recipe I've used for beef can be used for chicken. And like I said, I've tried it with okra. Oh yes, last one. I actually tried it round once, and I put mushroom and potatoes in it. And once they were cooked fully, I took them out, used a food injector that injected Alfredo sauce in it, and baked it again for 5 minutes. Delicious. So you can play with it a lot. All right, so now I'm going to use my hand, and it's okay, because I'm going to bake them, and baking them at 335 degrees is going to kill all the germs. Now we're going to do a few different styles here. So there goes sort of the meat here. I'm setting it up a bit differently. So these are my triangular ones. And where I'm doing this, those are my rectangular ones. So I'm going to do half of each. I'm not doing any round ones today. As per my wife, I'm only 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to go fast on this. But here I'm ready now, almost ready. And don't overfill it, because if you overfill it, you're going to have too much meat and you're not really going to enjoy the dough. So you have to be very careful not to just spit it out. Got to be very careful. Now, Yusuf, if you can just come a bit near, I'm going to show you something. Now you take this. This is now the key function. You're going to make sure it all meets and just press it slightly. So now it is sealed, just like this. And again, on this one, you're going to seal it. And the sealing is just playing with the fingers here. I've sealed it. And on this one, I'm going to seal it like this. Again, please watch it closely, as there's going to be one more exercise that we're going to do in the sealing process of these turnovers. So we're almost down to the last 3 right now. And as you can see, they're triangular and they're rectangular, and I'm sealing them. Now comes sort of the hard part, and this can be done through your fingers, or it can be done through a flat knife. Both will work really, really well. So as we've completed the sealing, now keep in mind, this needs to have a bit of distance. If you don't put distance, it won't rise. Now you need to really give it the final seal. And again, you can use a flat knife. I use my fingers. And again, as this cooks at 400 degrees, 385 degrees, all the germs are going to go away. So you just bring it closer. And now I'm going to see, just bring it very close what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. I'm actually pressing into it like this. And what this does is, it not only and you can do this with a pointed knife, you can do it with a flat knife. It will sort of give a nice little, presentation skill to it. So as we go through it, and eventually, as all of these are done, we're coming close to this now. We are now almost at the last one, and these are close. I am generous in this activity, as it really, seals it. And if it's not sealed properly, it's going to open up. It's going to be really bad.
Real quick, Anila, is there any questions so far, or does anyone have any questions?
Okay, no questions as yet. Very good. All right.
Oh no,
So now this is done. As you can see, these are sealed. Our oven is at about 353, so 20 to 30 more degrees, and this is going to go in. So we're going to just wait a few minutes, and I'm almost coming to the end of my presentation. Then I'm going to hand it over to Yusuf. Are you going to take it at 320, or is Rahim going to take it at 320?
I think Rahim, because I got a call at 3:30.
Okay, so we are at 363, 365. In about a minute, we'll be at 385. Now, keep in mind, let me show you, do not burn your hands. Protective care, very important. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing eyeglasses, it's not to look cool. It's protective. You can have eye care because it's very important, because oil, oven, the heat, everything can destroy the eye. So you got to be very careful with your eyes. I don't have my cooking goggles right now. They've been packed by my lovely wife. So I have to use my cool shades today. So we are now at 385. We are ready to go. You're going to follow me. We're going to open it. We're going to put it in the middle compartment, because that's where we'll have equal heat distribution. So here we're going to go. There it goes in. And it is now in and closed. 315, about 340 to 345, they should be ready. Now I'm going to wash my hand because I've touched egg, I've touched meat. I want to be sure I'm not contaminated.
He's also touched me. So.
And we're going to follow what we're going to see now. Wait, just stay there. What the end product is, what I did about 2 hours ago, here are rectangular patties already. Please bring this close. These are really delicious.
Mashallah.
These are potatoes. These are awesome. And you have to present it. So here's the plate. And if you bring it close to it, bon appetit.
Voila.
You get it?
Reem, someone's asking what's inside the patties.
So I use 3 different ingredients. I use ground beef, and I have a recipe which I'll share. I use ground chicken. I use potatoes. I use mushrooms and potatoes, and I use okra. So you can use anything which is not too liquidy as an inside fill. I'm using ground beef and potatoes today.
All right. So yeah, I'll come back to the questions. For now, we are going to move to Rahim's kitchen.
Muted.
Hey guys, that was I'm too lazy to make what Kareem Bhai made. That's a lot of work. I need something a little quicker. But this is karahi chicken, and obviously for you vegetarians out there, you can swap the chicken for tofu. But this dish is actually super simple. There's like maybe 3 ingredients total. We have chicken over here. We have 1 diced red onion, 1 diced green onion, and then after that, all you really need is the karahi chicken dabba. That's really it. Let's see. So we have karahi chicken right here. We have some ginger paste, garlic paste, and some tomato paste. And so what I like to do is I like to get a little bit of chicken tikka masala seasoning as well too. I'm gonna wash my hands since salmonella is a big deal.
Rahim, can you talk a little bit about Shan masala and where people can get it and bring it up close?
So Shan masala and national, I usually mix it up, but I always use karahi chicken masala, and then I add a little bit of the chicken tandoori that gives it that little extra color and kick. I know everyone's gonna think, like, oh, what are you doing? You're basically mixing karahi chicken and chicken tandoori. But honestly, once you try it, then you'll understand what I mean of how absolutely delicious it is. So I usually use, if you have 2.5 pounds of chicken or 3 pounds of chicken, a half of this Shan masala for karahi chicken will work perfectly. And just add a little bit of chicken tandoori. Just sprinkle that in, just a little bit. Honestly, as long as you have the dabbas, as long as you have the boxes of seasonings, it is super easy to cook because there's no such thing as over seasoning, in my opinion. You can under season, so just go a little crazy, have some fun with it. For ginger and garlic paste, I'm more of a garlic fan, so I usually use a 2-to-1 ratio, or I'll use 2 teaspoons of 2 teaspoons of garlic, and then 1 teaspoon of ginger. So if you guys obviously like one over the other, then it's just completely up to you as to how much you use what. And then we have tomato paste. Again, if you don't have tomatoes, if you have that Italian ragu sauce, that type of tomato sauce, you can use that as well too. I've made many karahi chickens before where I didn't have tomato paste, but I did have the ragu prego sauce, and I used that, and honestly, it turned out just as well. So don't be afraid. Whatever ingredients you have, that's the whole point. Just use it so you can easily get done with it. So this is what they call like the ASMR part. Come a little close and you turn on your speaker. Apparently people, they love this sound when you mix it, and it's soothing. So I'll give you 10 seconds of that. So now another secret ingredient that I add is actually ranch. And I know you guys are gonna freak out. Obviously, like there's no such thing as ranch in desi cooking. Like, what are you doing, Rahim? You're completely destroying desi cooking. I'm not even joking. Next time you make karahi chicken, when you use it, you're gonna look for my name and you're gonna message me and you're gonna be like, wow, thank you. Like this was just, it just adds that extra bit of kick that you're looking for. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of ranch, and I'm not talking about like a ton of ranch. We're literally just talking about a little squirt here and there. So look inside over here. That's it. We have that. And then also, I forgot, you're gonna need a little bit of olive oil just to keep it moist when you start to cook it. So that, just maybe like a tablespoon, and then just go back to mixing it. Honestly, every time I make it different. Any ingredient that I can find, if I find sriracha sauce in the fridge, I'll throw a little bit of that in there. If I find even like Maggi hot sauce, ketchup hot sauce, sweet and sour, I'll throw a little bit of that too. So every time it's a little more unique than the previous time. But once you have the basics done, all you really need is the karahi chicken masala box, ginger paste, garlic paste, tomato paste. Those three things, you have that, you don't need anything else, especially if you want to be as lazy as possible. Even the green bell pepper and the red onions, you don't have to have it. So if you're in a hurry, or if you're a student and not married and have a wife that, likes, needs a full meal, you can easily do this as a shortcut. I mean, it'll taste just as good. So once you have this ready and marinated, the best thing you want to do is leave it for 30 minutes. But if not, especially when it comes to karahi chicken, you don't necessarily have to let it marinate, because karahi chicken is going to be more of a masala-based dish. So all of this is going to end up coming into a sauce, and so it won't be wasted or anything like that. See, when you're grilling it, all like the rest of the masala, it just kind of falls off into the fire. So when you're using it on the pot, everything just kind of stays in there, and when you eat it with naan, all of it just remains. So as I get the stove heated up, I think I don't have the... One second.
So if you're wondering where to get the desi cooking masalas, or the boxes that Rahim was showing you, you can get them at any Indian, Pakistani grocery or Iranian grocery stores like Wholesome and Irvine. They also have them. And,
yeah, any of them will have it. And I definitely prefer national seasoning over Sean. Or I mean, even if you mix them both, I mean, they're both really, really good. So.
And the good thing about them is they have instructions in English on the box. So you can...
Yeah, they give you all the ingredients that you need on the back, so it makes it super simple. So I'm gonna take the karahi chicken here. I'm gonna just put it in this wok. Karahi basically means, karahi in Urdu and in Hindi, it basically means this shape of pan, karahi. And and if you guys remember going to Pakistan or something like that, you see like the huge fires, and you see those people sitting, and they're making karahi chicken with their sweat and everything, and that's what adds to the flavors. So now when I want to be fancy with my karahi chicken, or I have guests that I want to impress, I usually always add a little bit of lemon powder. If you guys have anything, lemon powder, it adds a little bit of freshness. As well, half a lime will absolutely bring out all the rest of the flavors. So I'm trying to see where my mom has put the lime, and if I can find it. Okay. Okay, perfect. So I found the lime. Best trick for lime, getting the lime juice out, is to make sure you just rub it on the counter to squeeze all the juice. When you use a juicer, all of it comes out. So before that, I'm just gonna get the stove started, just so this starts heating up. I'm gonna grab a fresh knife and just cut half of a lime. And then luckily, a lazy person always has a good juicer, so they don't have to do it by hand. You just pop it in and then just squeeze it in here. There we go, just halfway. You want to use a full lime, you're more than welcome to use a full lime. I use half a lime depending on how much chicken I have. So once this is going, if you feel like you need just a tad bit more oil, then just put a tad bit in, don't overdo it. It's gonna start immediately cooking. Grab some type of tool to start moving it around, and then immediately this will begin cooking. And I have it on a medium to high flame, just constantly keep moving it around. And so this will take around maybe 20 minutes. And if you have a lid, definitely have the lid on once you add the vegetables in. So I'll leave it right now for Yusuf. So then in 15 minutes, we can come back and we can add the vegetables in. Yusuf, are you there?
I think Yusuf is still on a call, so should keep.
Rahim bhai, how's your patties or turnovers coming?
All right, turnover, I'm here. Can you guys see me? Okay, I am unmuted. And hey, by the way, Rahim, great job. I love what you're doing. Now, just to put my fingers in, because I'm 55 and, you know, I've got senioritis. If you want more curry sauce in the kadahi, which is definitely not the traditional way to eat a kadahi, but some people like that, take 4 tomatoes, put them in a grinder, add cilantro, mint, and jalapeno, add it on, you'll get a lot of curry. Ooh, exactly. Thank you. So, you know, I mean, there are many ways you can play with it, but you've done a great job. And Yusuf is ready to go. It
depends on how lazy you want to be. When you need to impress someone, definitely go to the extent where you get.
I'm coming over, Rahim. I'm coming over. You know, Rahim, I made a kadahi about, what was last week? And Anila said, this is the best you've ever done. And she has been calling it finger licking good.
Oh, wow.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
One of the best. I think maybe you and Rahim should share that recipe.
Was it the rosa? Or was it because you were hungry from fasting? Is that why she complimented? Or was it actually good?
No, she kept eating it for 2 days, and Anila doesn't normally do that. So it was a unique experience.
It was actually a really good. I kept asking him, what did you put in this? What have you done? How did you make it so well? I was just completely flabbergasted at the taste of that chicken curry. It was amazing.
I also used
too? You crushed up tomatoes and added
tamarind on it. Yeah.
Okay.
I use tamarind, coriander, mint, lemon, yogurt, tomatoes. Yeah.
Cooking where I can add my own like seasonings, you know, because some people, they know, okay, this much coriander, this much garam masala. Like some people just take it straight from like the seasonings itself. They don't use dubbas. So I haven't reached that level yet. But I mean, for me, it's just crazy how people like automatically remember that, okay, use this much coriander, this much, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of this and that. So, I mean, that's good. I mean, I hope I can attain that level one day. But for now, I'm just stuck to using pre-made boxes.
No, I think you're doing really well. You're going to make some girl very happy someday very soon. Okay, so Yusuf, are you ready? Is Yusuf ready?
Sorry, I'm speaking on mute. Yusuf is going to be ready in about 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do, Anila, is while Rahim cooks his stuff, let me find the camera here. I'm going to show you guys something. So you saw the end product here, and you saw the displayed product here, and this is a batch which is ready to go in. I'm going to show you a batch which is about 15 minutes in right now, and how it looks. So you just get an idea of how you cook this. So I'm going to be careful not to burn myself, but I'm going to open the oven and I'm going to bring it out, and you can see how it's baking. This is in the oven right now. And these are the triangular ones. They're fresh. They need about 10 more minutes and they'll be ready to eat. Yum. And Yusuf is going to be back in 5 minutes. And now we were talking about, you know what we'll do? We'll talk about the ground beef and the ground chicken, because I think people were asking about that. I have pictures that I'm going to post. Anita, what I did was when I was making the ground chicken and the ground beef, I actually took step-by-step pictures of it, of how to add the ingredients, what to add, how long to cook it. And I saw that. And then what I'll do between today and Sunday, I'll do the potatoes, and I'll probably do the mushroom Alfredo sauce and potatoes as well. So it gives 3 different tastes to the turnovers, and you can make different kinds of them. So Yusuf should be here in a few minutes, and we will open it up for any questions, or Yusuf comes in.
Rahim,
Okay, Yusuf is back.
What did you just add?
Yusuf is back. Yusuf is here.
What did
We
you?
are in
here,
business.
Guys. I am here.
We're in
Hey
business.
guys, sorry about that. I'm trying to juggle work and this beautiful show as well. So real quick, I wanted to just make a really simple dish. It's with garbanzo beans and fresh veggies and spices. I love simplicity. And so this dish is definitely simple, but it's healthy, organic, and vegan, or vegan, as Kareem would say.
And if you want to learn my cooking, you can go to YouTube at Cooking with Kareem, spelled with a K, K-O-O-K-I-N-G, and K-A-R-E-M. Yusuf, back to you.
All righty. Oh, dang. All right. So, Kareem, if you can follow me right here.
All right.
I'm at Anila and Kareem's beautiful kitchen. So, if you can zoom in right here. All right. So, we basically, what I've done is I've washed and then I've boiled for 45 minutes the garbanzo beans. So that's already ready. And you can actually get it from Trader Joe's, organic, right here. So what I did was, so this is ready. What I did was I chopped up 1 tomato. Just dump it right here. I know Rahim was talking about Shan Masala and the other brand, but we have a lot of Shan Masala. So I used 2 tablespoons of Shan Masala. Sprinkle it over here.
And by Shan Masala, he is referring to the Shan Chaat Masala. Just let's close up on that. Okay. Yep. $1.29 at Wholesome Choice Market.
Yeah. Then what I did was 2 tablespoons of chopped up ginger. I like organic, but you guys could take the other. And then half a white onion chopped up. And then what I did was, for the purpose of time, I squeezed a lime already, but basically I'm using 2 limes. And you know what? The good thing about this dish is that there were no animals that were harmed. So unlike my 2 other chefs, no animals were harmed.
That's good.
I think we just lost Yusuf's audio, and we're soon losing his face. I don't know what
Thank you.
Kareem, can you zoom in on the food?
Yeah, please zoom in on the food, please.
No, we can't see all of it. Yes, that's better. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Very nice.
So you just mix it. Make sure you mix. But like I said, I think the time. I mean, the boiling the garbanzo beans is the it's that's the only thing that takes 45 minutes. But other than that, everything else is ready to go. Super simple.
I have a question. Someone's asking, did you put bicarbonate of soda or something like that in the garbanzo?
No. Nope.
Okay.
And you can, but yeah, I'm trying to use all fresh ingredients.
Okay, so you just boiled it without using any kind of, agent in it. It was just water and salt, or not? Just plain.
Yeah, water, and then later on, I actually did put half a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
That's the only thing. Yep. So super simple. Perfect.
Put cilantro on it.
Yep. You can just and then there's just the finishing touches is just cilantro on top, and there you go. Voila.
Oh, that looks.
And if you want to make it a bit more interesting, you can add some coriander and chili paste and sauce on it, and some yogurt, and mix it. It gives it a bit of a different taste. And if you want to be more exciting or adventurous, you can add something what is known as puri, and you can crush it. It makes it a bit crunchy. It looks really good. Yusuf, we're keeping it all for tonight. You're going home without it.
Okay, Kareem, let's ask Rahim how he's doing in the kitchen, and let's get an update from there.
And then we can also take out the next batch of patties, which are almost ready now.
Okay, so we'll just come back to you. Rahim, you're on. How's your cooking looking now?
Good. While you guys were on Yusuf's dish, I had put in the red onions and the green bell peppers in the chicken, and I put the lid on. So what you need to do is, after you put the lid on, put it on medium, and then just let this cook for about like 15 to 20 minutes. You want like all the water to come out. You want it to get like really liquidy. And so I'm just gonna do that for now as I cut my cilantro. And then I guess we can go to Kareem for now and then quickly come back to me afterwards.
Okay, so let's give you a couple of minutes. Kareem, we're back to you now.
Come back now, and I don't know if you can see my hand. So our second batch is almost done. Let me open it up and show you. I think I need about a few more minutes, but we look at it and I think we are almost there. So if you look at them, this batch is looking, it's hot. It's at about 385 degrees. We've been in there for about 21 minutes already. We'll do about 3 or 4 more minutes, and we should be done with this batch. And see how look the triangular ones, and then we have the rectangular ones right here.
Now, Kareem, they say that you shouldn't open an oven. Does that affect the patties at all?
Actually, no. So the trick is, you cannot open the oven the first 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes is when it is really the rising happens. Once it has risen, opening and shutting the oven for a minute or two doesn't anything. Because a lot of times, I'll do 2 or 3 batches, and about 15 minutes later, I'll put my second batch in. You've got to give it 15 minutes to rise. Because if you make the rising, then it will be a flat turnover. So you can open it, but after it's risen, which is between the mark of 7 to 15 minutes when it rises. That's why I keep the light on, because once it's puffed, then all it does is brown up. Then you can.
All right, can you briefly tell us how to make the mincemeat?
Absolutely, very simple. So what you do is, you get ground beef or ground chicken. Let's use both here for an instant. You take a wok-like dish. You add a bit of oil in it. You can do olive oil, you can do grapeseed oil, you can do canola oil, probably about 6 teaspoonfuls. It'll absorb it eventually. You throw the meat in it. Now, timing is very important. You throw the meat in it and you stir. You keep stirring. You cook on medium-high for about 5 minutes. Once you're done with that, you add garlic and ginger. 2 ways to do it. You either add 2 tablespoons of garlic and ginger, or you take fresh garlic and ginger and you use, one of the grinders to sort of, grind it, and then you add it on. Both are equally good. Right after that, you give it about another 10 minutes and you keep mixing it, very important. And then you add, again, shan masala as I use. I use half a box of Bihari kebab masala, and I use half a box of Sikh kebab masala. Now, you don't need to have shan masala. I have 7 spices that I can name and put on my YouTube channel. You can buy them individually, and you can use that as to your taste. So if you want it really spicy, you add the full boxes. You do half. You're pretty cool. Now you cook for another about 5 or 10 minutes, and then you take about 2 tomatoes. Again, you grind them to literally liquidy format, and you add those 2 tomatoes. You do another 5 minutes. Then you take about a cup of yogurt. You put it in the grinder again. You grind it. It becomes liquidy. You put it again. Then you take about 3 or 4, mint leaves and about 1 clove of or 1 sort of, sheet of cilantro. You grind it again. Becomes liquidy. You add it on. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. You mix it all, and now it's got a lot of water. Don't add water, because the yogurt and all the corianders and the tomato gives it a lot of water. Now you let it slow cook for 45 minutes, and you're done. Chicken or beef, same amount of time in cooking. And I've got a picture-by-picture form of that in the in my camera. I'll actually on my phone. I'll add it to YouTube, and let me check my patties. I think we are done. I'm going to show you. We're done. I'm taking it out, and you can have a look at it. we just made some really, really good and tasty. And keep in mind, do not burn your hands. This is hot. So I'm going to put it in. Now, what I'm going to do is I've got another batch, which is now going in. So my last batch goes in now. And this gets closed, 340, so I need 20 for that. And I'm going to show you guys the ready product. Hopefully, let me turn the camera around. And here is fresh turnovers just taken out of the oven. They're giving heat and they're giving a sort of a little, hot air, which you can see right. So they are as fresh. And, if you eat them fresh, they're lovely. Now, keep one thing in mind. You're not going to eat 12 or 14 in one sitting. So there's a trick to heating them up. If you heat them up in an oven, in a microwave, the crust actually goes soft. Don't do that. Use a toaster for 5 minutes or on an oven for 5 minutes. That keeps the crust of the pastry. The microwave will melt the crust of the pastry. It becomes like tortilla bread then.
All right, Kareem, that looks amazing.
And then you can garnish it any way you like to. What I've used in my garnish here, I'll actually share with you what I
it. Can you
So in my garnish, wait, let me get my hand out. Okay. In my garnish here, I've used tapatio. I've used red pepper flakes. I've used oregano. I've used thyme. I've used 2 dried red chili peppers. And I've used a spice called it Mad Spice from Austin, Texas. And you can use anything. You can use thyme. You can use oregano, parsley. The sauce doesn't have to be hot. You can use ketchup. You can use mint sauce. Everything will give it taste.
All right. So now we're going to go to Rahim's kitchen and see what Rahim is up to now.
Anila, I'm going to log off because Yusuf and I are done. So we're going to do a log off now.
Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you, Kareem. I'm going to post all the recipes up for everybody who's watching. Now let's look at Rahim's cooking.
So my dish is cooking, and I put the lid on, and then all the water came out of it. And so then I took the lid off, and this is when you want like 10 minutes that you on high heat. You want all this water to dissipate, all of this solid. And then once it gets close to like very thick and saucy, that's the time when you want to add the yogurt. So fried chicken, the most important ingredient is the dahi, the yogurt. And I like to use full fat yogurt. You have this. All you need to do is just really, depending on like 2.5 pounds of chicken, you see this big spoon? Mm-hmm. So basically, you're going to want to use 2 of these. 2 of these, put them inside here. And as soon as you put the yogurt in, obviously, you want this to dry out first and then put the yogurt in. Because if you put the yogurt in now, it's going to get too watery. And then it's going to take even longer for it to dry up. You want it to be a thick sauce. You don't want it to be this watery. So after this dries up a little bit and it's just chicken and the sauce is sticking to the chicken, that's when you put 2 big spoons of this. And that's when it's going to get watery again. But then you just let it cook for another 10 minutes. You let the water from the yogurt dry up. And then after that, bon appetit. You're basically done. And my favorite part is cilantro. I absolutely love, love, love cilantro. So I put a ton of cilantro. And then in the end, I'm a fan of chaat masala. So I will always sprinkle a little bit of chaat masala over the end dish. So that's pretty much it.
Very good. It looks delicious. Now, is it ready?
It'll be ready in like 15 minutes. So the total time it takes for the dish to get ready is like 30 to 40 minutes. It's pretty quick. Otherwise, right now, the only step that's left is to let it cook until it gets a little dry, add the yogurt, and then after you add the yogurt, it's just 10 minutes from high cooking, and then you can serve it up. And then make sure you have naan. That's the most important part.
That was the next question. I was going to ask you, can you talk about how Pakistanis, Indians, and whoever makes it in South Asia, how do we eat karahi chicken, this kind of karahi chicken? How do
My favorite way and the traditional way that it should be is where you have like authentic, fluffy, like naan, that's made in the tandoor. And obviously we don't have tandoors over here. So, you get whatever type of thick naan that you can from like the Indian grocery store, Pakistani grocery store, put them in the oven, let it fluff up. You don't want to be using like chapati, like
Trader Joe's has naan. So
yeah, Trader Joe's has naan. They have really good naan. Chapati, the chapati roti is really thin, so when you start eating it with all the sauciness in this, it kind of just gets a little soggy. So you need a thick naan, a thick roti, a thick bread to be able to soak up all that juices from the chicken, karahi chicken. Same with when you eat like butter chicken or anything like that. You want like a good naan. And so there's garlic naan, there's keema naan, there's aloo naan, all types of naan. Plain naan and garlic naan are my two favorites, especially since you're eating a dish that already has so much flavor. You don't want to, make it complicated by adding, like something like keema naan or something like that. So garlic naan and plain naan are going to be your best friends when you eat something like fried chicken or butter chicken thing.
That is true. One of the tricks that I use if I buy the naan from Trader Joe's, instead of you just leave it out for a little while and then I put it in the toaster oven instead of putting it on on the cooker or defrosting it. I just put it straight in the toaster oven, and 5, 6, 7 minutes. It really tastes really good that if you put it in the toaster oven instead of the stove.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same with just roti, and you want to make sure you cook the naan properly so you get the full experience.
Yeah, and you can also dip the naan in the sauce and the chicken, and then scoop it up and enjoy Shahi chicken the Pakistani Indian way. Now, do you also make raita with it, which is the yogurt kind of a relish or
for fried chicken? I usually don't, but for something like biryani or any other dish, I definitely do.
Okay. So Rahim, while you're making this, can you recall all the ingredients that you put in the chicken for watching and me?
Definitely. I'll recap. We started off with 2.5 pounds of boneless leg and thigh. I only like dark meat because it's juicier. Otherwise, white meat, when you cook it too quickly, it's dry and it's chewy. And that's my biggest pet peeve about food, especially chicken. I hate dry meat. So dark meat is the best way to make sure that, your meat, it stays juicy. So 2.5 pounds of boneless leg and thigh, cut them into small cubes. Obviously, in traditional fried chicken, they use the actual they use a leg, they use thigh, they use part of the breast. They put in the entire chicken pieces into the fried chicken. And if you want to make it authentically, then definitely do that. But I'm trying to do it the lazy, easy way so that there's no way of messing up. Because using a whole chicken piece, it requires a little bit more skill because you're cooking dark meat and white meat at the same time. So after you have the chicken ready, you have 1 green bell pepper, you have 1 red onion, and if you want to be fancy, sometimes I even throw in a red bell pepper as well too. So you have 3 ingredients, or you can even just use the red onion and that's it. It's completely up to you. There's no rule that you have to use this, and if you don't use this, it's not the same. As long as you have the flavor from the Shan masala daba, that's all you really need. So speaking of the seasonings, I personally use fried chicken from Shan. Usually I use it from National. And then as an added kick for the color and the taste, the tang, I use chicken tandoori. Along with that, we have 2 teaspoons of garlic paste, 1 teaspoon of ginger paste. We have 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. And then while you guys weren't looking, I added a little bit of Maggi hot sauce ketchup.
I saw your secret ingredient.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of sweetness. And then I used a half of a lime. I squeezed all of that in here, and then I added cilantro. So if you look at this right now, all of this is majority dried up. If you take a closer look, remember how watery it was in the beginning? Yeah. Now it's just completely reduced. So I personally would let it cook just a little bit more until all the sauce is just completely gone. You want it on high flame and just keep moving it around so all the water, it just completely disappears. But just for the sake of time, since everyone is watching, I'll add in the yogurt right now. So we just plop just like that. That's 1. And then we just use 1 more, just like that. You plop it in, and then you just start moving it around. So the yogurt is basically what it balances out all the spices and, the flavors of the fried chicken, especially if it's too spicy for you. All you need to do is just add more yogurt. That's it. That's the best way to just easily counteract the spiciness.
True. That's a great idea.
So now that you see the dane basically just disappeared, you just let this cook for maybe another 10 minutes on medium to high flame as the dane just completely incorporates into it. If it wasn't for Ramadan, I would definitely taste test just to see how strong the flavor profile is. And then after that, I would either add more yogurt or then I would just let it cook and then let it rest. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. And then the last thing I would do is just add more cilantro.
Well, it looks and smells awesome. It just
smells. You can smell it.
I can look at it and I can smell it.
Okay, that's good. It smells really good from my point of view. It smells really good.
Yeah,
the cameraman, my brother, he's also salivating.
Is that your brother? Should we say hello to him?
He's a little camera shy. And he's
All
in
right,
pajamas.
thanks for doing this, because there are so many people who've asked us for recipes and who've enjoyed desi cooking over the years, and now they've actually seen you guys make some of the best recipes that we've shared in the past.
And again, for those vegetarians or vegans, just easily, you know, swap the chicken for tofu and you'll get just as good of a dish.
Yeah, in fact, the tofu would taste really good.
Yeah, that's the only way I'd ever eat tofu, if it's made with desi spices. Otherwise, I would never eat tofu because it's a little bland. So you need to put that extra effort in to make sure it has the flavor.
Yeah, no, it looks really, really good. And for those of you that are wondering, like, are any of these ingredients not available in the US? They are all available in any Indian, Pakistani, South Asian grocery store. In fact, Iranian grocery stores like Super Irvine, Wholesome, they also have it. So Shan Masala, the boxes that Rahim was showing you, they are widely available, national masalas. You just have to reach out and ask. And you can always drop us a line and ask us. We'll tell you, we'll send you exclusive pictures of those masalas because they've made cooking really easy for all of us. How long to go, Rahim?
It's basically done. We're basically done.
So you put it on medium flame?
Yeah, medium to high after I put the yogurt in, just so whatever little pani is left, you can let that cook out.
Okay. Yeah, and you never covered it, right? The chicken was never...
I covered it initially when I put the chicken inside just to cook the inside of it. That's the best way to cook it. So the steam inside, once you put the lid on top, it'll cook the chicken. And then after that, you'll see that it's very liquidy because all the water came out from the chicken and from the vegetables. And then as soon as you do that part, you don't put the lid back on again because you want the... because when you put the lid on, the steam is going to make it watery. And right now we're trying to get the water out. So the best way to get the water out is to keep it uncovered, put it on medium to high flame so the water, it just evaporates out.
Okay, it looks really good. And the last step would be to garnish it.
Garnish it with cilantro and make sure the naans are very fresh and soft and crispy. Have Kareem Bhai and Yusuf Bhai left us?
Yes, they're both working, so
okay.
Go back on their conference calls. But you know, we have the video, so we'll share the recipes. And now you're on your own. You're going to show us how this looks at the end. Now, do you cook every day, Rahim, or?
Before Ramadan, I mean, I would be cooking every other day or every 3 days or so. Otherwise, I mean, normally, my mom and I, we switch off. So the days she wants to cook what she wants, you know, she loves dal, she loves more of the travel-based stuff. I'm more of a meat eater, so when I want to eat something meaty, I'll be the one to, you know, take charge of that day.
That's good. So I think you guys have definitely defied stereotypes and then shown people what, you know, Pakistani men are really like. They cook.
Oh yeah, of course. We are rare gems, and I hope every person who's watching in Pakistan or everywhere else right now, they get the ambition and the inspiration, you know, to start cooking themselves.
Yeah. If you like eating, you gotta love cooking. That's what I told my husband. And now he's a pretty good chef. He likes cooking. And I think a lot of young people that I'm speaking to, Rahim, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of them have been saying that, you know, because of COVID, we're at home, we're trying out new recipes and we're trying to, you know, learn how to do this, learn how to do that. So I think staying home, being close to the family has allowed all of these inner traits of young people to come out, be creative, do art, do painting, do cooking. And that's the nice side of staying home and getting to know your family. And
Exactly. You can discover so many. I hope, we're close to the quarantine ending, but I hope you discovered some new talent or some new passion during this time. This is the best time to discover all those. So, and if you haven't, then definitely, there's still plenty of time.
Yep.
Go in the kitchen and just try something,
So now you're adding some more lemon, lime.
Yeah, just a little bit more lemon, just for the freshness. Otherwise, that's pretty much it.
Looks yummy. And it's the orange or the orange color is because of that chicken tandoori masala.
Yeah.
That looks beautiful.
So this is pretty much done. And then I have a little bit of cilantro left. I usually put this once I put it in the bowl, but you can just add it right now. It won't really matter. But I love cilantro.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I think in a lot of Pakistani Indian cooking, we use cilantro. Mexican food uses a lot of cilantro. It just gives a really beautiful flavor.
Well, I definitely hope you guys enjoyed and that you guys actually try it. Don't be scared. And let us know on Facebook, how did your dish turn out?
Yeah, and so we challenge everybody, please try out, ask us questions, and we'll give you answers, and tell us what you liked about our cooking show. Men Defying Stereotypes.
But I must say, there is an agreement between me and my mom. I will do the cooking, but then she will do the cleanup. That's the agreement that we have. I just feel like that's fair. If I'm going to do all the cooking, then, the least she can do is, clean up the rest of the stuff or, take care of all the rest of the ingredients. So
That's
I think that's fair, especially for husband and wife, like if the husband does the cooking, somebody's got to do the cleanup. So I like that that you share the responsibilities. That's the best. That's the best.
That is true. No, that works. That's fair. You keep stirring it.
Yeah, we were basically done. I'm just gonna let it sit in the pot until iftari time.
Yeah, and then a lot of times, this dish is actually served in the karahi, the wok kind of a thing, right? Because it is what it is. It's a karahi chicken. It's a wok chicken. So it's okay to serve it in that one, that kind of a dish as well.
Exactly.
So I'm going to ask you, brother, to zoom in on the chicken to show us how much gravy we've got. Oh, there's a lot of gravy there. Sauces.
So the longer you cook it, the more thicker it's going to get. So, this is pretty much, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially for me. It's not too watery, but it's nice and it's hugging the chicken.
It looks nice and juicy, just right amount of sauces.
Well, I'm going to start cleaning up because I know my mom is probably tired. I had her go and get the groceries and stand in line, but
so are we done now, Rahim? Are we done?
Yes.
Okay, so give us one last look. You've garnished it, and that looks beautiful.
Thank you.
That is karahi chicken. We're going to be posting all the recipes, so I thank all of you for watching us. Thank you, Rahim, for all the effort you put into this. I know you're fasting. God bless you. And all the people that are watching, try out these recipes and tell us what you thought of cooking with Kareem, cooking with Yusuf, and cooking with Rahim. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, guys.